of Engineers and Infrastructure. Let me begin by asking unanimous consent that committee members not on the subcommittee be permitted to sit with the subcommittee at today's hearing to ask questions. No objections, so ordered. I also ask unanimous consent that the chair be authorized to declare recess during today's hearing, and without objection, so ordered. Pardon me. The Corps has defined resiliency as a holistic approach to addressing threats and uncertainty for acute hazards. These hazards include more frequent and stronger natural disasters, man-made threats, changing conditions from population shifts, and climate change. Good old climate change. The Corps is the largest water manager in the nation, so it is important for us to understand how the Corps manages its inventory of projects in light of changing climate, including how it builds resiliency into its decision-making. This will be a critical discussion in the formation of a new Water Resources Development Act, WRDA. We must also keep in mind the funding increases caused by disasters. I'm already having a discussion of aging infrastructure, changing hydrological conditions, and how we can better respond to these changes in my district in Southern California and throughout the nation. We have several core facilities, including Whittier Narrows Dam. It is part of the Los Angeles County Drainage Area Flood Control System, which collects the runoff from the upstream watershed of the San Gabriel River and controls downstream releases to millions of people. Like many core facilities, it is over 50 years old. Mine is 62 years old. It is classified by the Corps as a Dam Safety Action Classification 1, the highest classification because of its potential risk to downstream populations should it fail. I am working closely with the Corps to ensure the dam safety work is started and completed after nearly 15 years working on it at the Whittier Narrows to protect our communities from the threats of today and the future threats of climate change. We're also pushing for another important reason, and that's the ability to use Whittier Narrows and other water infrastructure like the Prado Dam to meet the future water needs in the community. We cannot do this if they fall apart or are in danger of failure. In Southern California, over half of our water supply is imported from the Bay Delta or the Colorado River. We experience frequent droughts, so we want to be able to utilize existing infrastructure and operate them in a way that it meets existing authorized purposes, but also consider other needs like groundwater recharge and water supply. As an example of this with Prado Dam, a potential pilot project for the foremost informed reservoir operations. This project helped to conserve 12,000 acre-feet of water at Lake Mendocino earlier this year by relying on better forecasting to help guide operations. And we recognize that with what resiliency means for California will be different than what it means for the Midwest or the Eastern Seaboard. However, because the core projects have a real impact on everyday lives and livelihood of American families and on our local, regional, and national economy, it is important that the Corps consider resiliency as part of its mission every day. So I thank the witnesses for being here today and look forward to your hearing your testimony. And at this time, I'm pleased to yield to my colleague, ranking member of our subcommittee, a good friend, Mr. Westerman, for any thoughts he may have.
Thank you, Chairwoman Napolitano.